What's going on, ladies and gents? Digibus here bringing you guys today some more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. And today we'll be talking about the new defense operator for Rainbow Six Siege. We'll be talking about Echo, who came along with the Operation Red Crow DLC. Now, Echo comes equipped with the MP5 SD and the Supernova shotgun, two very unique weapons, more lines for the MP5 SD, and we'll talk about that in a moment here. He comes equipped with the P229, I believe it is, pistol, and I don't even remember what the SMG is called. Is the PM36? I'm sorry, I forgot the name wrong. I totally forgot what it's called. I don't know why. Anyways, and his gadget is the Yokai sound drone, or cloaking sound drone. I don't know what the official name or term we'll call it is, but it is a cloaking drone that disperse sound waves. That is a very effective drone. So first, let's talk about his weapons, his playstyle, stuff like that. So Echo is a max armor operator, and I couldn't be more happy about that. We need more defensive operators in Rainbow Six Siege, less roaming, more supporting. I'm all for it. So Echo comes equipped with that MP5, as I stated, and it is integratedly suppressed, which means you must run a suppressor on it, which in the long run isn't a bad thing, but it definitely makes his playstyle a lot more unique, especially since that means his gun won't have the most front-forward damage. He will remain back a little bit more. He won't be able to DPS out a lot of enemies he's shooting at, but he can remain stealthy at all times. But of course, he is clunky with his footsteps and probably isn't the best for sprinting around, but if he hunkers down in an area and uses his drone properly and sound bashes everyone down, he will probably be a lot more successful with that MP5. It's quite accurate with the vertical grip, but I do prefer the angled grip on it because it is a lot lower damage. I prefer aiming down my sight a little bit quicker. The recoil is quite manageable as it is, and I personally don't need it, but if you guys can't control its recoil, the vertical grip's there. Both play to a different playstyle. They're both fine, the grips, honestly. Obviously, sights are your choice, but it comes with the standard 4 selection of reflex, red dot, holographic, and ACOG, so whatever you feel like playing, just go for it. Now, the ACOG itself, I wouldn't necessarily say go for it all the time. Echo is a 3 armor operator, and he isn't meant for lurking and roaming at all. For the most part, he's meant to be played very supportively with that drone of his. Scout where the enemy is, sound burst them, pop around the corner, have someone else pop around the corner. He's very good for team-based oriented action. When you're using his Yokai sound drone, the best thing you can do is work with someone who is a roamer, because then everyone's going to reap the rewards. If you're running Echo and you decide that I'm going to boom someone and you're on speak with your team, or if you're in a party or whatever platform you use to speak with your friends or playmates or whatever you guys call yourselves these days, you can say, hey, I just stunned this guy in the other room. Okay, this guy's playing Bandit. Go rush in there. And then you can tell, so if I'm playing with Thunder and I'll be like, hey, Thunder, there's 3 guys around the corner, and then they're just in front of my drone. Now, since the drone is easy to locate, the drone doesn't have a spotting tool like the offensive drones are, which is nice, or the cameras, which is also nice, but it's a mobile, invisible drone. It's only invisible when it's stationary, though, so just a heads up. It is actually a little bit noisy when on the ground, so just keep the heads up. Try not to roam around with the drone too much, but we'll get what's more strats with the drone as we continue here. So I can be like, hey, Thunder, he's playing Bandit, or whoever, Pulse, whatever. Hey, there's a couple guys around the corner. Here you go. They're all compressed right now. Get a Nitro Soul over there. It's probably your best bet of survival. He does benefit a lot from having people playing with him because he's slow. If he's standing around a corner that is bulletproof, he's a little bit better because then he can just pop around the corner and shoot people. But he's not going to be like, oh, hey, shoot someone, then they can't really move. It's really the opponent's sight that's disorientated for the most part. That's about it. Their speed isn't hindered that much, but their vision is fucked. They are not getting anywhere once you hit them with the Yokai drone. The Yokai drone has 3 shots in a, I'm going to say mag. I don't know, what do you want to call it? Subwoofer? I don't know what the hell to call this thing, man. But it does technically have infinite ammo, but it takes a long time to recharge just one burst. So it's okay. The Yokai can't disable any other drones or anything else the attackers deploy, so using your comms is very important when it comes to Echo. But overall, he just pairs very well with a lot of people. If you and your buddy are with a roaming team, you can have the drone take point if you want. Just make sure not to get too caught ahead with the drone. It can't move when it's on ceilings. Sorry about the cutout there, had to cough. As I was saying, it can't move when it's on the ceiling, that's when it cloaks, but it can move when it's on the ground. It's a little noisy when it's on the ground, you can also hear it cloak, but once it's cloaked, it's pretty cloaked. It's pretty cloaked. It does a good job at cloaking itself, which I like. But overall, you can have a roamer, you can take point with the drone, scout out ahead for the guy, work like that, but I wouldn't suggest it all the time, because then technically, as Echo, you'd be in the room alone, kind of by yourself with no eyes, and then if someone walks up on you, you'd be like, hey, your drone's too far away because the roamer's over here. So be cautious with it. Kind of set like a personal limit of distance. Don't be like, if you're playing on console, don't be like on the upstairs with the drone and you guys are defending basement. Don't do something like that. The drone is a little more necessary to stay near Echo because people should capitalize on it. So keeping in your breach points a little bit more strategical than just taking it away with a Jaeger roam or something like that. But everyone's playstyle is everyone's playstyle. If it's down to like the last enemy, then by all means go for it, whatever. But yeah, that's about it for Echo for the most part. He doesn't really excel on any maps because his drone does the same job on every map. Just make sure you get that drone cloaked before anyone else can really see it cloak, and don't start spamming the sound boost until the enemies are in a vulnerable position. Don't spam it while they're outside unless you have someone ready to rush. If you don't have anyone with you and they're not ready to take the shot, not ready to kill the people, don't do it. Not worth it because you're just going to get your drone detected and drone shot. Like, no real end-all be-all point. But other than that pretty much wraps it up for Echo. He's a very straightforward operator. I like him a lot. He's very good. He's very supportive. I like the operators that came with Retro. This is definitely a step in the right direction. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys haven't, go check out yesterday's Hibana video. If you guys haven't already, you guys will enjoy it. Without further ado, I'm the Dangerous, and I'll see you, Sexy Beast, next episode. Peace.